I especially like the country case studies, and I mean, just from the basic finding is that economic growth, especially agricultural growth, matters to child malnutrition, but so do focused efforts to reduce poverty and improve education and health for the whole population. But Derek shows that in a very convincing way, and especially I think your study of the countries that have clearly succeeded demonstrates that. Our next panelist will be Beatriz Pinheiro, who is from the Brazilian Agricultural Research Corporation, Embrapa. Beatriz. You want to stand up there? Or you like sitting?
Okay, go there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here talking in behalf of Brazilian attainments of the Millennium Development Goals. So although I don't have a clear-cut case study to present, we will be talking about some progress we've been making, and also I would require the help of my other colleagues from other ministries, which have a very nice experience directly concerned with hunger alleviation and poverty reduction in Brazil. To start my presentation, I would say that Brazil is a highly urbanized country of 109 million inhabitants and the 50th largest nation on earth. And through decisive government actions aided by civil society engagement, the country has been rapidly advancing towards the achievement of the Millennium Development Goals. And many of those actions are linked to the Zero Hunger or Fome Zero program, which was designed to ensure the human right to adequate food by promoting food and nutrition security and eradicating extreme poverty with the aim of consolidating rights for the most vulnerable segments of the population. This has been presented during the speech of my colleagues, Daniel Balaban and Milton Miró, this morning. So I'm not going much into it, but I would like to say that the indicators have been pointing out notable progress as long as the inclusion of social inclusion of people below poverty line, many advances related to child mortality, infant and just born children, maternal mortality. All of this is related to education and to wage increase and many policies and political will above everything. So I would like to be talking a little bit about the commercial sector and the household farming, because both had to do with the advance the country has been undergoing. You start to say that as long as the commercial sector is concerned, a crucial moment in the country was observed in the mid-90s when a successful plan of macroeconomic adjustment eventually stabilized a chronic history of inflation in the country and created solid foundations for economic growth. Among other relevant measures, two related key elements were of decisive importance for the future of agriculture in the country. Firstly, Brazil liberalized its markets and opened them for foreign competition. Secondly, several fragments of agricultural policy are implemented, thus clearly establishing a market-based approach. Taking the 2008 indicators, the country agriculture and its agro-industrial chains account for 25.6% of the GDP, which is around $1.6 trillion nowadays, and respond for 37% of all jobs in the country and for 36.4% of total exports. So agricultural productivity, in turn, was the main drive that stimulated production and accounted for 65% of the total agricultural growth in the period, and its role has been crucial to guarantee low levels of food prices and food abundance in the country. So the overall performance of Brazilian agriculture transformed the country from an importer of some products in the past to one of the most relevant players in the international markets of agricultural commodities. Some colleagues at Embrapa have demonstrated that these trends are mainly resulting from competent farmers, entrepreneurship, shipping and mechanized land, agricultural policies, and tropical technology developed to the National Agricultural Research System, which is coordinated by Embrapa. While as long as the government action and small producers are concerned, this is also a nice picture. A turning point with regard to small farmers was the national program for strengthening family farming, which is providing a wide array of credit channels for small producers ranked under different criteria, and also offers financial support for those poor rural families settled under the National Program of Land Reform. These credits are subsidies and cover costs of production, investments, and commercialization. This has been talked by the colleague Milton Miron. Gender has also been addressed through PRONAF Women, and this segment also receives specialized technical assistance and rural extension services to attend to particular needs regarding development of family agriculture. In recent years, PRONAF this program has been strengthened and added by other actions. One of them is the Citizenship Territories Program, which focused on addressing poverty in rural areas through a sustainable territorial development strategy. And another one is the More Food Program, which was created in order to modernize the productive structure of family farms. So all those programs are being conducted in an array of various government ministries and other organizations, and also with civil society organization and partnership. Another important program has been the Family Agricultural Food Procurement Program, which was structured under the well-known Zero Hunger Program, which was launched, this part of the program, in 2003. This program promotes the direct purchase of food products by small farmers in order to guarantee food supply to a chain of social assistance institutions throughout the country, including popular restaurants, community kitchens, and food banks. So the food production is associated also with education. So all those actions are truly promoting the social inclusion and good health and good nutrition to the citizens. The stocks of food bought by the government through this program may also be used for special social targets formed of vulnerable families, and one of this specific group is the school children, and this was already covered by colleague Milton this morning, so I'm not going to repeat on it. Only to emphasize that it is a very important program with exceptional results. Also, the rural poor families have been benefiting most from other initiatives launched by Zero Hunger Program. The main one is Bolsa Família, which is a cash conditioned transfer type of social program whose financial transfers reach families living in poverty and under extreme poverty. And so this cash transfer program has some conditionings, and some of them are linked to education and also to health monitoring throughout the country. My time is...
You've gone 7 minutes.
I would like to finish saying that a robust increase in agricultural productivity resulted in the reduction of food price, and the sum of these trends meant that Brazilian agriculture has been successful in not only fighting hunger in rural and urban areas, but also in providing social inclusion and greater prosperity. The recently launched the final report of the UK-based Foresight project on the future of food and farming emphasized that there are causes for optimism that agriculture can become a more powerful force for the reduction of hunger and poverty in the decades ahead. I was very happy with this conclusion. And we in Brazil, we are aware that our country has been strongly exercising this strategy and promoting an array of different policies and incentives to support all types of producers, from small farmers to large-scale agriculture. And the total financial support for agriculture jumped from US $14.8 billion in 2002 to $69.6 billion in 2010. So the combination of entrepreneurship and nationally developed technologies in tandem with various government policies have turned Brazil agriculture into a flourishing economic activity that's contributing to feed not only its people, but also offering an extraordinary contribution to reduce hunger in other countries. The persistent government support, government will, to small farmers is gradually encompassing the whole group of producers, including settlers established under the Land Reform Program and many other groups, to provide them with technological expertise and ensuring their full integration into the economy. Thus, to conclude, I would like to say that Brazil is establishing a new model of fight against hunger and poverty in rural and urban areas, leveraging agriculture to conquer nutrition and health for its citizens. I thank you very much.
I just find the Brazilian experience tremendously inspiring for all of us. It's just remarkable. As Beatrice explains, they've combined really good economic management with very aggressive efforts to reduce hunger and poverty. And what I didn't know before was what they've done in the agriculture sector. With what I hear is a combination of liberalization of agriculture with strong government investment in agriculture and technology, and then strong government assistance to poor farmers and poor rural people in general. And it's worked. And one of the bottom lines is a reduction in child malnutrition. Really impressive. Thank you. Our next speaker then will be Anna Larty. Anna is from the University of Ghana. She's a professor at the University of Ghana and president-elect of the International Union of Nutritional Sciences. Anna Larty.
Thank you very much. I'm going to talk about what Ghana did to achieve the Millennium Development Goal 1. As you probably have heard, Ghana is the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to achieve a Millennium Development Goal. And in our case, this is Goal 1. Basically, this is what the situation looks like. I don't know if you see it as a red line on the screen, but mine is a red line. You can see how poverty has come down over the years. And if we follow this trend, by 2015, we would more than have met the Millennium Development Goal 1. Not only has extreme poverty come down, but also general poverty has also reduced. And that's the trend goes down. Now, if you also look at child undernutrition, which is again the red line, you see the trend we are following. We have from where we started in 1988 to where we are now. If we continue to follow the trend, we would more than have met that requirement again by 2015. So the question is, what did Ghana do? I first of all would like to talk a little bit about agriculture and its importance to Ghana. Agriculture contributes the largest share of the GDP, which is about 38%. Ghana's workforce, we have about 60% of Ghana's workforce involved in agriculture. If you look at total female involved in agriculture, they're about 49%. Ghana can, at the moment, be said to be largely food sufficient because we produce about 51% of our cereal requirement, 60% of fish requirement and about 50% of our meat requirement. Now, what did we do right? I think the first and foremost, or the bedrock of Ghana's success, is good governance and national or political stability. I think, and that's my thinking, sinking money into a country that does not have good governance is like pouring water into a basket. Now, what exactly did we do? One of the things that was done was that we looked at agriculture, because if you look at its contribution to food production, its contribution to income generation, if you can do something about it, you can really move things forward. So Ghana's poverty reduction program focuses on 5 priority areas, one of which is agriculture. And here, we modernized our agriculture with strong emphasis on rural agricultural development. There was irrigation improvement, increased production of grains, production of non-traditional cash crops, and also the addition of value to crops were given strong emphasis. Farmers were given subsidies on fertilizers, and also they were given improved seeds, and also tried to reduce costs on plowing and labor to help them carry out their activities. Other activities that we put in place were the school feeding program. The food feeding program is estimated to cover over 1 million children in primary and kindergarten nationwide. I mean, this is a small number compared to the size of India, but for Ghana, covering 1 million school children is quite substantial for us. Now, although this program has the objective of increasing school enrollment and retention, there are direct benefits in improving nutritional status. And the strategy of linking it with local food production also boosts agricultural production and also increased income for poor farmers. Now, some of the strategies that were put in place actually resulted in significant growth in agriculture, increasing for about 4%, annual growth from 4% in 2000 to about 6% in 2005. There are other factors too that were considered. And again, all these factors, I want to emphasize again that good governance and political stability are crucial in making sure that these strategies work. We had a national food fortification program. This is to address the micronutrient deficiencies nationwide. We also intensified our infant and young child feeding practices. Exclusive breastfeeding was promoted nationwide. We saw significant increases in exclusive breastfeeding rates. And also, we are also improving our complementary feeding practices. Ghana, through the World Bank, carried out a community-based food and nutrition security program. Now, this program had 3 arms. The arms are, we looked at growth monitoring. It also had a food security component that encouraged backyard gardening, fruit planting, small animal rearing. There was also a microfinance component to this program. This program was carried out in 4 districts and has now been scaled up to about 65 districts. I will not go into the details of this because time will not permit me, but this is also one of the programs that was put in place. There are also other programs. Ghana became HIPIC in 2002, and that means it became a highly indebted poor country. So this came along with some debt reliefs, and the savings from this was plowed into social amenities for the poor, like roads and drinking water, etc. We also put in place a national health insurance scheme. Now, this scheme helped to remove the financial barriers to healthcare access. So poorer households could now pay lower premiums and be able to access the same quality care in public facilities like anybody else could. Then we also had the livelihood empowerment against poverty, popularly known as the LIP program. Now, this involved direct cash transfer to poor households by providing safety nets for persons living under extreme poverty. There was also the free maternal health services, and that this, mothers could go to hospital for antenatal care, and also they would deliver in hospitals for free, so they could get good care and safe delivery in these hospitals. Now, having said this, it doesn't mean we've been able to conquer everything. There are challenges. The success regarding reduction of hunger and poverty is not seen in all regions of the country. There are some parts of the country that still have high poverty and high hunger. For example, in the northern regions of the country, we are reporting like food insecurity rates of about 34% compared to about 1% in the greater Accra region, where the capital is located. So there are regional disparities, which we still need to work on. Also, if you look at the way ministries are structured, like the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture, you can see that they all run parallel programs. There is really no integration. There is no integration. And I think that if we are to meet the other Millennium Development Goals, especially the health link goals, we must seriously look at this integration, where we can see agriculture serving nutrition and then serving health. So my message is simple. 2 messages I want to leave with us. If we really want to make an impact, good governance is crucial. Government commitment is very important. Secondly, we must link agriculture, nutrition, and health. This does not come automatically. We need to work at it. We need to forge that relationship to be able to reap benefits and see to it that we attain the other Millennium Development Goals. With this, thank you very much.
Okay.